Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of NextEra Energy Partners, or ticker symbol NEP. And I will also be comparing that with NextEra Energy, ticker symbol NEE. And I will be contrasting a pattern with these two charts with one that we previously went over on Rivian. So I'll be coming back to that in a minute. And so I just wanted to go over this briefly with NEP, that it looks like there's this wedge pattern or this pennant. And you can see that there's this downtrending level of resistance and this uptrending level of support. And so I did a comparison between this stock and NEE because the structure of them looks pretty similar. And since for this one, you have these sloping lines on the top and the bottom, it's kind of like a 50-50 possibility of it breaking either to the upside or the downside because they're both sloping. And so I feel like that's where comparing with NextEra Energy comes in, because we also have these sloping lines. However, with NextEra Energy, NEE, we see that there is a rising wedge pattern, which is the opposite of a falling wedge pattern, which we saw in Rivian. And with Rivian, while it is stalling out a little bit right now, we did see a break up from a falling wedge. And so what would you expect from a rising wedge? And so the answer to that is it's probably more likely for this to break to the downside. And so when comparing NEE with NEP, this one, whereas it looks, it's a little tough to decide, is this going to break to the upside or the downside? If we look at the structure of the chart, the gap down here, a number of red bars coming down, and then this sideways trading in this wedge, it looks pretty similar to NEE. There's a small gap up here, a number of red bars coming down, and then a similar pattern within this wedge. However, this one looks more like it's going to break to the downside. And since these charts look pretty similar structure, I have a feeling like NEP is more likely to break to the downside than the upside, even though there is a gap up here. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because, I think these two charts can kind of serve to inform on the other based on their similarities and based on this pattern looking more like a rising wedge that will break to the downside, whereas this one looks a little more 50-50. I would say it seems more likely this will break to the downside because of that comparison. But, I could be wrong, especially considering there is a considerably sized gap to the upside. So that is something to consider. Also, I want to take a step back and look on the weekly time scale. We have this line here with these touch points, and did break through a little bit, but I do feel like that could be, in the future, a level of resistance that this stock will be testing. So I do think that this will go to the upside eventually, but, really just based on the comparison with NEE, I do think it will initially be breaking to the downside, maybe coming down for NEE to $48, whereas NEP, that might be coming down to about $20, something like that. But, again, I could be wrong. Those are just my thoughts on these two stocks. And if you found this helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.